Hello everyone. It's Michelle Leath with another episode of Thirsty Thursday. Welcome. I'm with unlockyourpossibility.com, and today you might need a big cup. There are a lot of possibilities that I am soaking up from this book that I'm reading that I want to talk to you about. And I knew that I was going to drink way too much wine for the middle of the day if I had a drink as big as it needs to be, so I'm going with tea. Actually, interestingly enough, I'm going to talk to you about negative emotions, and I just had a lovely outburst of negative emotions as I was trying to record this video, and my daughter walked through the room and totally distracted me, and I blew it, and I lashed out at her. So I apologize to her. That was all me, not her. So hey, I'm not perfect. Shocker. Okay, talking again about the mystic path to cosmic power, and I've read a couple more chapters of this book. I introduced it last week. It's phenomenal, and it's really changing my perspective on some things. And the two big takeaways that I've had this last week have been, the first one, never condemn yourself for having negative emotions. I'm practicing that right now. You know, we have this ideal picture, this idealized identity or sense of who we think we're supposed to be. And when we have negative emotions, whether it's anger or sadness or, losing your patience with someone, we condemn ourselves for that. And we try to push it away and deny it. We don't want to look at it, maybe distract ourselves from it. And that's where you get into trouble, because what you resist persists. So Vernon Howard, the author of this book, is talking about don't condemn yourself for your negative feelings, emotions, reactions. You just need to observe them. And what I've learned from this is that I've actually been doing this self-awareness thing all wrong, because I've been very aware of my feelings and some negativities, but I'm still judging myself for them. And that's where I'm getting it wrong. I'm going to write a blog on that, actually, and probably post it in the next couple days. I'll go into a little bit more depth on what I'm learning around that. But the other thing about negative emotions is that they're really caused by us. They're not caused by things outside of us. They're not caused by external happenings. They come up when some reaction that we have doesn't fit with our idealized viewpoint of ourselves. And that the key is to stop trying not to feel that way, is to just recognize it and observe it kind of coming and going. And I talked last week about the self-observation technique, and I had a cool experience with that this week that I want to share with you. I had kind of a day the other day where I was spinning out about all kinds of stuff, and I was disappointed with myself for something that I had done, and I was beating myself up. And I woke up kind of in the middle of the night in one of those like half sleep things, and I kind of went right into self-observation and kind of was aware of myself just lying in my bed sleeping somewhat peacefully. And it suddenly seemed so silly that at the end of every day, I'm still going to be sleeping in my bed, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be living. And why cause myself all that stress during the day that I didn't need to do, because I'm going to end up in the same place? So it was kind of a cool moment. So I think the thing that I'm taking away on the negative emotions is that the key to really freeing yourself from those is to allow yourself to rise above them, not judge yourself in any way for them, just notice. And that's what shows you the way out of those patterns. And there's a cool quote in the book that I wanted to share with you. He says, sorry for the delay. People think that life has hundreds of problems. It hasn't. There's only one problem. The lost child doesn't know the way home. So I thought that was really cool. The second big takeaway I'm getting this week from the book is to do with relationships, and that all of our struggles with other people are self-induced. So that might sound tough to swallow, but basically all of our struggles with other people in relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic, they come from the fear that arises when we want something from someone and start to worry that we're not going to get it, or we start to become upset that we're not getting it, and that you cause yourself pain with all the unconscious hopes and demands and desires and expectations that we place onto other people. And so it's just kind of fascinating. And it's like, the other thing he talks about is that most of when we have like a craving for someone, or you're drawn to somebody, you're attracted to them, and you're trying to push a relationship with them, most of the cravings that you have for other people are not necessarily because of a quality that they really have. It's more that you're recognizing a need in you in that other person and falsely attributing it to that person. So when they don't do what you want them to do, we become upset by that. And that's when, you start to go into struggles with people. And we decide how someone else should act. Like, we think that someone should be a certain way towards us. We want them to do or say or feel or whatever. And when they don't, we get upset. So it really has nothing to do with them. It has to do with us. And he says, notice how quickly so-called love turns to resentment when, one of your desires or expectations in another person doesn't come to fruition. And that's so true. So again, it's like, the problem really isn't other people, it's your reaction. And that the key to becoming free and happy and long-lasting true happiness is not allowing other people's behavior or their choices to tell you how to feel. So I'm working on that too. Other people's stuff belongs to them. And so I think that's just really valuable information for relationships that, that we can all use. So the other quote I wanted to share with you, again, kind of reinforces the first one, is that there's no such thing as difficulties with other people. The only difficulty is within ourselves. So stuff to think about, right? So take a look at that as you go through your week and notice how you are reacting and how much of that is just struggle with yourself versus a struggle with somebody else or some set of circumstances. So that's my advice for the week. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this book next week because, again, I'm getting so much out of it and I'm only, halfway through. So I want to share it with you. You guys go out and get it too. Let's read it together. Let me know what you think. Cheers to your possibilities as always. And we'll be back next week, probably bring a big cup again. And I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks for coming by.